Thinking about using Jobber but not sure where to start? In this video, I'm going to walk you through exactly how my clients set it up to get organized, get paid faster, and stop running their business from their head. I'm Andrew Lazursky with the Ultimate Landscape Academy, and I help landscape contractors scale their business by building systems and improving their sales process. Today in this video, I'm going to walk you through the exact steps that you need to take to get Jobber set up in your business to move you away from chaos to scaling. Now I'm going to give you a quick overview of the main dashboard today so you know where everything is when you first log in. Number two, I'm going to show you how to add new clients into the Jobber system. Number three, I'm going to walk you through the simple steps in order to create your first estimate that you can then print and then go present to a client. And number four, I'll show you how to integrate your existing QuickBooks account with Jobber so that every time you collect a payment, it automatically gets posted and there's no need for you to go back and forth and make multiple entries. Let's get into it. When you log into Jobber, this is your dashboard. Now, depending on the level of account you've signed up for, yours might look slightly different, but the basics are here across every level of account. Down the left-hand side, we have our navigation menu. This is where we can create new things. We can come back to the home page, we can schedule jobs, review our clients, requests, quotes, and the list goes on. Across the middle of this page is what's called our workflow. It allows us to see how many requests are still outstanding, how many quotes have been approved, how many jobs might require invoicing, and then how many you're waiting payment on. So I love having this right in front of us right away. Now, if you had jobs scheduled, which you will once you start using Jobber, they will also show up below down here. You also have a quick link to schedule a job if you decide to do so from this homepage. The last thing I really want to point out that's very important is that in our business, most of the time that we get stuck scaling is because we lack the clarity of our numbers. We don't know how much money is outstanding. We don't know how many jobs we have coming up right now. Typically, we are running it from our head, and that's not a way that we can actually scale. So what I love about this is the business performance down here in the bottom right-hand corner. It will show you exactly how many clients have money outstanding to you. It'll show you your upcoming jobs, and it'll also show you your revenue so far this month so you can hit your targets. All right, so that's a basic overview of the main home screen when you first log in. I highly recommend that you spend a little bit of time playing around in here, finding where everything is. There's usually one or two ways to get to the next step every time you need to complete something, whether or not it's the navigation bar on the left or another tab on this page. Now, let's get into the second thing, which is adding a new client. All right, so like I said, there's always two ways to do things here inside Jobber. First things first, if we want to add a new client, we can go ahead and click on this client tab on the left-hand side, and it'll take us to our page of clients where we can add a new one. Or we can click on the create, which is a quicker way to do it, and then just go ahead and click on client. This is going to pop up the primary contact details for the client. We're going to go ahead and enter in some fake data here today so you can see what it looks like, and I'll show you how easy it is to actually add your clients. All right, so I went ahead and just added in some simple information for name, phone number, and email. Now, what I love about this is that it also will track your lead source. If you're not currently asking where your leads come from when you get them on the phone or they come by email, then ultimately you're missing out on a really key piece of information that will help tie back in your marketing efforts later on. So if people are calling you on that first phone call after you introduce yourself, they're going to start to tell you about the project. At the earliest convenience, I would stop them and just say, hey, real quick, before you tell me anything else about the project, can you tell me how you got our phone number? Then you're going to write that down and you're going to get back to the information on that first call. But you're going to take that and you're going to be able to add it in here on the lead source. Did they find you on Facebook, from some sort of flyer, from Google? You can also add your own custom lead sources here by clicking on this tab, typing it in, and hit create. Now, for the sake of this one, let's say they found you from your Google page. Now, you do have the option on this page to add in additional client details. You can add a custom field if you need to add something about preferences, something that they mentioned that was really important to you, something about the property in itself. You can add all this information in right here. You can also add additional contacts, other information in this box here. Now, you're going to want to make sure that you add in the property address. Some owners may have their own address, but then they have a property that you're doing the work at, right? We want to specify the difference between these from a standpoint of billing versus actually completing the work. In this case, I'm going to go ahead and again, enter some fake data in here for our customer, John Smith. Okay, so I entered in my data. Now, you can go ahead and enter your tax rate by clicking on create a new tax rate and enter that in for your particular state or province. Now, like I mentioned before, you have the option to add in a billing address if it is separate from the actual service address. If it is going to be separate, uncheck this box and then go ahead and fill in the other details. For the sake of today, we're going to say it's exactly the same, so we'll leave that one clicked. Now note, you can also add another address here if the owner has multiple properties that you're maintaining for them, or you have, they have a cottage and they have a main home and you're doing multiple projects for them. You can click on this and go ahead and add in the additional service address there, so that when you create an estimate and you tag it for your teams, they're going to the right property address. Outside of that, again, you can add some additional details and some additional contacts if there is a tenant that you need to get a hold of, if it's a maintenance property, or anything else about those properties here. Again, anything that will help your team complete the work, so that if there are any of those important details, they're not rattling around up here, the guys don't get there and they've forgotten something, you can add it right in here that your team will also be able to see. Once you're done, you're going to go ahead and click on Save Client, and they will get added to your list of clients. Now, if we go back to our list of clients right here, we can see John Smith has been added. They are now found right here. Now, step number 3 is I'm going to show you how to create a new quote for this particular client so that you can get something built very, very quickly and get it to them so you can sign that next deal. Let's get into it. Here we are back at the main dashboard. Again, like I said, 2 ways to do everything. So number 1, we can do the quick shortcut and click on create and then click on quote, or alternatively, because I showed you that one the first time for creating a client, I'm going to go ahead and click on quote down the left-hand side. Now, if you were doing this for the very first time, you will see this exact window pop up, which will say create winning quotes. We'll help you build a quote in seconds that will help you win the work. Go ahead and click on create your first quote. Now, what you'll see on this page is that you have options right away to customize it. We're going to make the quote for a particular client. We're going to go ahead and click on the plus sign right here, and we're going to attach the new client that we've just built to this particular quote. You can now see that the property address has been uploaded, the contact details are here as well, and we're going to go ahead and name this one. For this particular project, let's call it a simple walkway installation. Now, you have additional options here while you're building this one out based on your initial interaction with them. On the right-hand side here, we have the rate opportunity. You can go ahead and rate them on a 1 to 5 star rating on how likely they are to actually convert. When you met with them, if they seemed really, really involved and really excited to work with you and only you because you came as a referral, you're likely going to go ahead and rate them as either a 4 or a 5 star. If they called you on the phone and they said that they're getting pricing from 5 other people, then whether or not you want to rate them as a unlikely or maybe, go ahead and do so. This is more for you in the back office to understand the level of importance, but also for you to be able to track at the end of the day to see your conversion rate on the opportunity rates. Now, beyond this, if you do have additional salespeople in your team, you can go ahead and change them. For most owners just getting started, it's going to be you. Below that, we get into the actual quote. So you'll see that you have an option, again, to name the service. And this will have some preloaded services for you already. You can type in some options, but we're going to want to go ahead today for the sake of it and just create a really simple one. It's going to be for a walkway. Again, because it's a custom line, we're going to go ahead and add that to the products and service. The item is a service, the name is a walkway, description is going to be the basic installation as per drawings. Now, in your situation, you're probably going to want to go ahead and add some additional items in here. This, again, is just to show you getting started today. You're going to want to spend some time building out the basic framework for walkways versus patios, or you can just do exactly what I'm doing every time and create a custom one. Once we've created that one here, quantity is going to be 1. We can go ahead in and enter our unit price, which is the cost for the project. In this case, I'm going to say it's a $10,256.87 project. Now, you might be wondering, why did I go so specific on my cost here of $10,256? Well, the reason is because in reality, nothing ever works out to round numbers. You create an estimate for somebody and you take it to them and you say, your custom one-off walkway patio job with Gardens XYZ is going to cost exactly $10,000 with zeros. The problem with this is that nothing adds up to 0. So when you give that number, they may question you why you've come to that particular number. It doesn't seem like a lot of work has gone into it. It's just a round number. But when you bring them a price of $10,256.87, they're not questioning why that number exists. They can see you've gone down to a penny on the overall cost, and they're going to assume much more time, energy, and actual expertise has gone into creating this estimate. Now, You have an option while you're doing this to add a discount. Like I said earlier, adding in a tax rate. For the sake of this, I'm just going to go ahead and put in an 8% tax rate. Again, it's going to vary from where you are. We do have to include that one, and this is typical sales tax. Once that's been created, it goes ahead and shows you that and then adds it into the total as well. Now on the left-hand side here, you do have options to add additional line items, add optional line items. Maybe they want to add in a garden, but they're not sure overall if they're going to do it or not. You can add it as an optional line item. You can also get into what the client actually sees and create the client view at the end of the day. They can see quantities, unit price, line items, and totals, or you can eliminate the line item totals, the unit prices, and the quantities, and all they're going to see is the total at the end of the day. Beyond that, you have a section to enter in a client message where you may say something like, hey, attached below is the estimate for your project and some other important details. You also have your option to add in your contract disclaimer. This is where you would add in things like your warranty or other important details for the project. Lastly, you have an option to add your internal notes. These are things for the back end, for your teams, for anybody in the office, for them to understand. This can include the amount of time you've bid for the project, the number of hours for your teams to hit, some of the material takeoffs. Really, you can put in as much information as you want here so that at the end of the day, your teams will be able to see all this when they go and do the installations. You can also upload files here as well, like some renderings or some additional spreadsheets if you've built your pricing somewhere else. This is a quick overview again at the end of the day. I do recommend that you spend a little bit of time here covering the step-by-step and build your first estimate as soon as possible. The really great thing about this is that once it's done, you have two choices. One, you can send it directly to the customer. They'll have their own member platform where they can actually approve it, request changes, and then pay right from that platform. That's great if you've got a report already built with that customer or that you've done work for them in the past. If it is somebody new, then you can print this off, go and present it, and once it's done, you can actually go in here and you can hit approved on the back end. This will take your estimate and move it over to a pending project. Once you've created the estimate, let's go ahead and click save. And then again, like I said, we have the option to send it as an email. We can convert it to a job. We can mark it as awaiting response. If you're going to print this off, you're going to want to go ahead and mark it as awaiting a response. If you're going to send it to as an email, then obviously you would click that one. And once it's been assigned, we're going to go ahead and click this to convert to a job. This will auto-populate it into the calendar and request a scheduling time. And then from there, you'll be able to actually send out your teams to do the work. Now, I do just want to show you the last step here. Once we have created a job from it, and it'll say right there that the quote's created, here's the job. You can go ahead and schedule the start date for the project, assign any team members. You can also have this clicked, and this is important, is to remind you to invoice when the job's done. Once this job is finished, because you created the quote in here, then you can actually just turn this directly into an invoice and have it sent to the client, or again, print it off and go collect payment. There's no need for you to now go create a second document in order to create an invoice or to get paid. It does it all right here from the platform. And this is huge because this eliminates the need for you to then spend extra time invoicing, which usually happens when you get behind, you're trying to catch up on a weekend, cash flow gets tight, and then you go invoice. This allows you to keep it up to date as you move through the week, the month, and keeps your cash flow in the business so that you're not getting stressed out wondering how to pay the next bill. All right, I'm back at the main dashboard. The last thing I'm going to show you today quickly is how to integrate your existing QuickBooks account so that every time you get paid through the Jobber platform, it will post a payment directly to your QuickBooks, and so you don't need to do any double entry. Down the left-hand side on the menu, you'll see the apps button. Go ahead and click on that one there. Whether or not it pops up instantly for you or not, if not, just go ahead and search in apps. But if it does, you're going to go ahead and click on QuickBooks. From there, very simple, you're going to click to connect your QuickBooks account, and then it's going to pull up any of the QuickBooks accounts that you've already utilized. Once you've done that, you will click on the particular one. For this situation, because I've already connected in the past, my options didn't show up. But for you, it'll take you to a QuickBooks page where you can select the account you want to connect, and then you're going to go ahead and click on this connect button. Follow the remaining steps in order to get it actually connected to your account, and then every time you collect a payment, it'll automatically transfer and avoid you having to double track, double enter, and eliminate a lot of that work that's keeping you busy right now and holding you back from scaling your teams. Well, that's everything for today. If you got value out of this video, then go ahead and click that subscribe button and hit that bell so that you're notified of every new video that I release here on the channel. All right, now by the way, if you're thinking about using Jobber for your business and you want to offload the chaos so you can scale, then go ahead and look in the description below. You'll see a link that will get you 2 weeks free trial here inside Jobber, but will also give you an additional 20% off for the next 6 months. You can use those funds to reinvest back into additional training, or you can use them for new tools to help grow your business.